guys, today I wanted to make a video about a potential transfer that is currently ongoing according to the gossip columns. And I've gone with Anthony Gordon because it's a bit of a controversial moment at Everton with what's happening with him. So I'll just get straight into the reports. Chelsea are ready to drop their interest in Everton and England Under-21 winger Anthony Gordon, while Newcastle also do not want to become embroiled in a bidding war. Now that's according to the Northern Echo, which is a Newcastle-focused paper, I'm assuming. And then Sky Sports have added, Gordon has not handed in a transfer request at the Toffees despite missing the last 2 days of training. So, yeah, from that it comes across as Gordon ideally doesn't want to, turn the fans completely against him, but he does fancy a move away. So is what I'm getting from this, because the way the fans, got to him a little bit. I don't think they full on attacked him, but there is like a line, and I think that has been crossed a little bit by Everton fans recently. And then the Telegraph have added, Newcastle are looking at Chelsea forward Hakim Ziyech as an alternative to Gordon, as they are unwilling to pay Everton's 60 million asking price. And finally, Sky Sports have put, Everton are also interested in the Moroccan forward and could make a move if Gordon does leave. So yeah, Hakim Ziyech is now involved in this as well, with Everton and Newcastle looking at him. But in the other direction, you've got Newcastle and Chelsea both sort of looking at Gordon. I don't think Chelsea will go for Gordon, because I think they've signed that many wingers now that even if Gordon did want to leave Everton, I think he'd be silly to go to Chelsea, because they've got about 4 options on the left wing now. They've got Mudryk and Felix, their January signings, and then Pulisic, Sterling, and I'm sure there's others that I'm completely forgetting about here. They've also signed Noni Madueke recently as well, so they've got enough wingers as it is, Chelsea. So I think the only move here for Gordon really is to go to Newcastle. And with that, I find it interesting when there is also reports today about Alan Saint-Maximin leaving Newcastle to go to AC Milan. So is there a potential space opening up for him there? Because I don't think Newcastle have actually played with a winger on the left this season. They've had Almiron on the right, obviously, but Joe Linton isn't an out-and-out winger. He's like an inside forward when it comes to attacking, but when Newcastle haven't got the ball, he just comes in as like a fourth midfielder, so he's not really a winger. So I think maybe that's something that Newcastle might be looking at, because Saint-Maximin obviously doesn't give you that work rate, which is something I think you can definitely get out of Anthony Gordon, because he does, have the fire within him when, when he can get like fired up easily, and when there is scraps, he's usually in there, as seen in the Everton Newcastle game earlier on in the season. So yeah, I think he's definitely not going to be a player who isn't really asked. I think he's a player who definitely wants to win and succeed in his career. But I can understand why he would want to be leaving Everton right now, because of the situation the club are in, and it is turning toxic. And I think Everton as well, the board, when they got the supposed offer in the summer from Chelsea for 60 million for Gordon, I think it's absolutely outrageous that they didn't accept that. Because Gordon, right, for me, Anthony Gordon, I don't think either of these two clubs are going to be what he needs in his career. Newcastle possibly, because they haven't got as many options as Chelsea on the left. Chelsea, I would say, is a no-go. But I just think the sort of club that should be coming in for Gordon really is a mid-table club. I know Chelsea right now technically are a mid-table club. I think they're like 10th at the minute. But I'm talking about Crystal Palace, basically. Someone who's stable in the league, can sort of guarantee Premier League football for the next 2 or 3 years, and give him a chance in the team. In fact, Crystal Palace would be the perfect team with Wilfried Zaha leaving, or as it stands, looking like he's going to leave. So yeah, I think that would be a good fit. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I think that's the sort of club Gordon should be going to, because he's guaranteed game time there. He'll make progression in his career, and then maybe he can make the next step to a big club. I think if he goes to a big club now, it doesn't work out. He doesn't get game time. He sits on the bench. It's not going to be good for his career. That's my personal opinion on it. I just don't think he's really shown. He's definitely shown glimpses of that he can be a very good player. In fact, in the past 12 months or so, I think you can positively say that he's been one of Everton's best players. He was certainly vital to them staying up last season. I know he didn't score tons of goals, but he played really well. But I do think goals and consistently scoring goals is something he has to add to his game to get to the next level. So yeah, that's the reason I don't think this move is correct. If I was giving a move to Chelsea, I'd give it a 1 out of 10. If I was giving it to him going to Newcastle, sorry, I'd give it maybe a 5. I don't think it's a great move. If a club mid-table came in for him, I think that would be perfect. And I think if Newcastle or Chelsea are going to pay 60 million for him, I think that would be absolutely outrageous. I don't think he's a 60 million pound player. I think 30 million. I think what Chelsea have paid for Noni Madueke, is about what I'd pay for Anthony Gordon as well, because there isn't enough evidence from what he's produced in his career so far to suggest that he is a 60 million pound player, even with the inflated transfer fees that are being paid in the modern age. I just don't think it would be good for either buying club. And then Hakim Ziyech, like potentially going to either Newcastle or Everton. I don't think it's what Everton need. Ziyech is a brilliant player, but when you're in a relegation battle, I just don't think he's the sort of character you want, or sort of style of player you want. You want someone who's gonna, fight to win for your team, and I don't think he's that. Newcastle, I just don't think Newcastle needs him right now. So yeah, but I can't see this one happening, especially with the price tag that Everton are holding out for. I think Anthony Gordon will probably end up staying at Everton, because I think if Everton do decide, right, we're desperate, let's drop the price tag to 30 million, I think even then, the Everton fans will be furious with the, potential loss of 30 million that Everton have made there, in the fact that they didn't accept the summer offer of 60 million, which was what was being reported. So, yeah. I think the next step for Gordon is definitely to just be playing consistently for a club who are settled in the Premier League and aren't constantly, in the headlines for bad reasons. We're seeing it with players in mid-table now, like at Crystal Palace, you've got players like Michael Elise, Abire Eze, and I keep coming back to Palace for some reason. I know Forest aren't 100% safe, but at the moment, Brennan Johnson, Morgan Gibbs-White doing well. Even if these clubs are threatened by relegation, they still haven't got, the toxicity around the club like Everton have. But I can't see him leaving. I just think with 5 days to go in the window, it's too little time. But anyway, thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.